Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 121 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. We'll take a look at a roll of 1957 Lincoln wheat cents. These are all proof coins and mint cellos cut from proof mint sets. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Silver Scorpion. How are you doing tonight? So this is the roll I got right here. Maybe you can't see them super well here through it, but we'll take a look at them all front and back. Let me just write the number of the roll here so that I remember what it is. 121. Alright, we'll dump these out. We'll get to it. How's everybody doing tonight? So I have one out already. And let me fix my microscope because it's not updating. Alright, there we go. So this first one that I pulled out here, I don't think it's the same one I took a photo at the beginning with, but I went to focus the camera. This one here looked really nice. Most of these rolls of wheat cents that I got at the beginning of the pandemic here, they have been really, really nice, bright, shiny, red proof coins. Very happy with them. Originally, my plan was to just put these up for sale on eBay. And then when I opened the first one, every single one was absolutely beautiful. And so I thought maybe I will do a bulk submission here in a little bit. And so I think that's the plan. I hear that PCGS is pretty backlogged. Have not tested it myself yet. So I'm thinking I'm just going to keep my money fluid and not have it held up for months waiting to see what I get back. But at some point here, we'll definitely be doing a bulk submission here in the future. Looks like this one's got a couple little spots on it. Otherwise, absolutely beautiful bright coin. And I don't know how much damage it does on the grade to have a couple little carbon spots. I assume that they're carbon spots. I'm definitely not going to touch them, not going to try to clean them off or anything. If they are carbon spots, my understanding is that they will not be coming off. But I think we will see enough of them in here that we don't have to worry about things. And I've got quite a few rolls of these. So, you know, if 100 coins is the minimum for a bulk submission, I'll definitely be having quite a few hundred really nice specimens. And I have a bunch of proof sets as well. Let me get some focus here too. There we go. My camera seems to like to focus on my chair, not me. Apparently the chair is the show. Almost looks like there's like a little tiny hair inside this one. Try to get my finger out of there. I know you guys don't come to see me, you come to see my chair. This one almost vaguely looks like there's a fingerprint on it. But these sure do glow really nicely in the light. And I like it too because when I put them in the light like that, I feel like you can see every single imperfection on the coin. Sometimes I feel like this would be a really great light to grade with. At the same time, I feel like I can't quite see kind of the details sometimes. Some of the details, like I feel like everything just gets nice and golden and makes it look pretty, but I feel like sometimes I don't notice some things that are wrong with coins. But I wish that my camera always, you know, I make a lot of videos of slabbed PCGS coins, and I feel like you can't quite get the same angles with slabbed coins as I can with these mint cellos. I'm just kind of able to bend them right to the light. And with a slab, I'm kind of bending on the axis of the side of the slab. And also the slabs are highly reflective as well, so it seems like it kind of creates an interesting dilemma. But once we get through these and take a look at all the fronts and backs, we can take a look, zoom in, see if I believe there are two obverse double dies for the 1957. So we can take a look and see if we are lucky enough to have either of those. And as far as I know, there's nothing on the back. If anybody else knows of anything interesting on any of the backs of these, I just feel like there is enough people who have looked at millions of these. I mean, there's probably only, I think they made 3 million of these, so maybe people haven't looked at 3 million, but probably people are looking at, 500,000 of these that were made, over and over again, and probably if there was a reverse double die or a DDR, I'm guessing somebody probably would have found one, or I'd be seeing evidence of the variety on different pages. And as much as it would be fun to find something no one else has found before, I feel like it's probably not nearly as likely. I've also noticed quite a lot of machine doubling, a lot of machine damage on the 1957 proof, which is something I don't notice on a lot of proof coins. Normally it seems like they did a better job making the proof coins as opposed to business strike coins. I definitely see a lot of machine damage on the business strike coins. Not so much. This one really is bright, really nice fields. And at some point here too, I really need to get better at just being able to identify a nice strong cameo, because I mean I have a lot of these. I have to imagine that at least a couple of them are cameo, but I find it, see, that's one of the things with the lighting, the way I have it set up. I feel like it makes everything look golden, and I feel like it makes it really hard if I had a nice strong cameo coin to be able to see the cameo surfaces on it. I don't think I have any cameo ones right next to me. I might have one from the 60s here. I mean, it's interesting, like when I look at the 1 cent right in the center there, it looks like it's nice and bright and white. But then when I look at most of the lettering in the United States of America and the wheat ears and the E pluribus unum, it's like not bright white. But yeah, like I feel like if I'm looking for a cameo, probably holding it straight on like that would be a better way to do it rather than this, because it just, all the fields here are just highly reflective. But maybe when it's cameo, I think the light wouldn't quite catch it in the same way. Wow, that would make a nice picture with it all completely whited out like that. Hello Marcos Rodas, welcome. These coins, I don't know the grades I'm still new to grading proof coins. This one here, to me, if I was to give you a wild guess, this coin looks beautiful. My guess is on the low end, like a proof 66. I almost want to say it could be a proof 67. I would say the majority of the coins in this roll, if I was to take a wild guess, would probably be between like proof 65 or proof 64 and proof 66. All the lines and stuff you see on here, it's the mint Cellos. It's like the texture of the plastic from the mint. Normally you don't see it, but when you put it under magnification, it becomes harder. So the coin itself probably has nice smooth fields underneath those lines there. And most of these look really nice. We've seen the occasional spot or a couple spots, mostly kind of tiny. Like I almost feel like I see some tiny little speckled spots on this coin here. Pretty sure I do. Sometimes it's there'll be just a little bit of texture on the coin, and when you have a bright light shining, it makes a tiny little shadow, kind of where there's a little tiny raised dot. But I'm going to assume that all the little dots that I'm seeing on these, up here, this little line behind Lincoln's head, that looks like a little crease in the plastic. But this little line over here, that looks like that actually might be a strike on the coin. These ones, Marcos, I'm not selling. I was originally intending on selling them. But I think I'm actually going to be sending these in to get graded so that I can learn how to grade coins better. I bought a lot of rolls of proof coins, and normally they are not this nice. This batch that I got back in March are like the nicest ones that I've ever bought. Normally there's like 1 or 2 nice coins in like a 50 pack that I get like this. And this one, almost every coin in the rolls have been ones that I'd consider grading. I sell graded coins on eBay, and so pretty much I can sell proof 64 and up, graded by PCGS, no problem. And so once I get them graded, they will be for sale. Like the 1957 here, I have a ton of them for sale on eBay. But these years, the early proof coins, they're kind of some of my favorite coins, the Lincoln proofs. And so these are actually ones I've been actually trying to collect. And so I've been building up a pretty nice collection of early proofs. And they're kind of, most of them I have the intention on trying to hold on. They're just my favorite coins. And so these ones eventually are going to get sold here. And so yeah, if pretty much like proof 66, I think for this year, I think it's like $30. And so I would break even on anything that came back proof 66. And then if I got proof 67, like I feel like I can normally sell them between like 55 and 65, which is a little bit above the market value. But it's like if you're able to find a cameo in it, all of a sudden you have some money with the cameo ones. If you're able to get a proof 68, the proof 68s, I do not see many of them. I feel like the higher graded proof Lincoln Wheats, I feel like they're undervalued. You know, you go to 1936 to 1942, and like they only, you know, for 1936 they only made 3,000 proof sets. So there's not a lot of them around there. If you ever see like a proof 36, one for under a couple $100, it's definitely worth picking up because there's not going to be any more of them. Only 300 or 3,000 people will be able to complete the set. I think the 37, they only made like 5,500 of them. 38, they only made like 8,000 of them. It keeps going up a little bit. I think they made a little bit over 3 million for the 1957 here. And I just really like them. I find them really beautiful. They're one of my first coins that I just kind of fell in love with. And I obviously love the Flying Eagle cent, but I would say early proof Lincoln Wheat cents and Flying Eagles, those are like my favorite coins. And so those are the ones I've been trying to like add to a collection. I feel like eventually here proof coins are going to go up, and so I'm kind of, you know, that's where I'm putting my money. I could be totally wrong and I could end up owning a bunch of beautiful coins that I love, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather put my money somewhere with something that I really like. And I know a couple other people who are kind of on the same boat, and we've been trying to buy up as many of them as we can. Occasionally I see like a roll of these on eBay. I don't see too many of them. I see rolls that are loose, ones that have already been taken out of their mint cellos, but usually by the time it's been taken out of the mint cellos, it's been exposed to more environment. Someone's touched it, there's got a fingerprint on it, it's been in a roll touching another coin. Just little tiny things end up kind of lowering the grade of the coin or ruining it, giving it environmental damage. You know, it gets cleaned by someone that's like, oh well, I'll clean it off before I try to sell it, and then it's like dropped quite a few grades, if not been ruined. Another really nice one here. So I'm really happy with these. I'm pretty psyched. I got these like right at the beginning of the pandemic. It seemed like a lot of people were I don't know, it was like really weird at the beginning of the pandemic. There were all these coins that I would never see up for sale on eBay and other auction houses. And all of a sudden it was like every coin I'd ever been trying to get for a long time was up for sale. And everything, one day things were going for like 50% value, and the next day things were going for like 110% value. It was like the market couldn't make up its mind. Kind of like this weekend. Like this weekend, I was getting stuff for like 20-30% of its value, like all day long. Do not know what was going on. Sometimes I feel like I'm on my own private eBay, and just everything there is like a private auction for me, because nobody was bidding against me. Kind of scares me in one sense, but if things weren't selling so well on eBay as Buy It Now's on my store, if nothing was selling and I was just buying and nothing was selling, I'd be concerned. But I don't mind picking up things for 20-30% value and then selling it for full value. That's good for business. And on the bright side, I'll have a lot of coins to show you guys. Now this one here, excuse me, this one here is a little bit more. You can see like there's been moisture in here. You can see where the moisture condensated, and there's like little black deposits where the moisture probably reacted with the coin here. This coin here must have just been a filler, but not every proof mint set here. I think this thing is technically open. I think that this is the first one like this in here. No, it's no problem. You can ask any questions you want if I'm able to help. Basically there's three major grading companies in my opinion. It's PCGS, NGC, and NX. I feel like NX has its strong points, but I feel like it's not nearly as popular as PCGS and NGC. On the bright side, it is cheaper than both of them. It's probably like half the price. But the coins of the same grade don't typically sell for more. I don't know, grading is a very interesting thing. Grading with NGC and PCGS, it costs a lot of money. If you don't have hundreds of coins, it generally costs between like $20 and $30 to get a coin graded. Therefore, the coin you're getting graded needs to be worth, over $20 to $30. Otherwise, you're spending $20 to $30 to get it graded. And then when you go to get it graded, it comes back and all of a sudden it's in a slab, you've got a grade for it, but it's still, you're not going to be able to sell it for any more. Morgans, I feel like on eBay, ungraded, just like the most common dates, I feel like I see sell for like, well, I guess I'm usually looking at PCGS graded ones, but I feel like a lot of the more common dates graded, they sell for like 30 to 40 bucks. Like if you know that they're super, super high end, or they're like a rare date or a key date, then there could be a reason to get it graded. If it's one of the more common dates, or it's like extremely, extremely worn common date, I wouldn't recommend getting it graded. Yeah, they have to be gradable. So you could get them graded. Like one reason I would say to get them graded is if you love the coins and you want to hang on to them for life and you want them to be protective. But really, like the reason that I buy graded coins mostly is because someone else has already taken the money to get their coins graded. They've put their money into it, and then when they go to sell it at auction, I pick up the coins usually for less than the price of a coin getting graded itself. And then because grading costs so much money, it makes it, people are willing to pay usually more than face value for a common coin. A lot of people have like PCGS registry sets, and they want to add a coin, or they're missing a coin, and they could buy a normal coin, but it won't have a certain number to fit into their registry set. So it's like interesting things happen with graded coins. If they want to put them in a registry set, generally it needs to be graded by that company. But the first thing I would probably do is learn about your Morgans before you get them graded, or before you decide if you want to get them graded. I would write down the name or the grades of the. I'd write down the years of the Morgans. This one has a beautiful surface on it. I'd write down the years. I would search to see if there are any mint marks on them. And I'm just trying to think. I know that there's an S mint and an O mint. For some reason, I feel like there's not a D mint, and I could be wrong. Spiked Head Greg, tell me if I'm wrong. Pennies have been my main thing. I just started collecting nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and silver dollars, like literally like a month and a half ago. I've owned some, but I've been actively trying to learn more about them. But pretty much, the two main things you need to start searching to see what the value of your coins are is the date, and if it has a mint mark, which will tell you which mint it's from. And I believe the mint marks on Morgans are on the reverse, kind of right, like if you look down at the bottom, like it would be like essentially like right here on the coin. And so I believe that's where you'd be looking. But if you find those, then you can add the date and the mint mark. You can go to eBay and go to the Morgan category and then look up the year and the mint mark. And then generally I'll go to like lowest buy it now, and that'll give me an idea of what the cheapest Morgan is for sale on eBay. And you might have to scroll through a couple things that aren't what you're looking for. But once you find the Morgan, you can also go to the sold category, and then you can go to lowest, so you can see what the lowest, and you just kind of go to the lowest one, look at it and say, my coin looks better than that one, my coin doesn't look better than that one. And if you put in a date and a mint mark and every single one is a few $100s, then you probably have a key date. If it's selling between like $20 and $40, it's probably not a key date. A lot of the common Morgan dollars, they seem to sell for in MS condition, like MS63, MS64, which is, basically like a nice bright red coin you would find in your pocket change. If they're, in really nice condition, that's about a MS63, 64. A D and an O. Okay. So if you look at what I would do is I would look at what all the dates and mint marks, write them on a piece of paper, go to eBay. I find it the easiest place to look them up, just because you go into the search bar, you type in the date, put a space, and then the mint mark, and it'll bring up all the ones, and then you can look at the ones that are sold. But it'll give you like basically a minimum value of what your coin is. Lots of things can happen to your coins that can make them worth less money. If there's a giant scratch going across, it's going to be damaged. If someone's put a hole through it, it's going to be holed, it's going to be damaged. If it's got a bunch of if it's corroded, which silver usually doesn't like super corrode, it's going to be damaged. If it's super, super worn, it's possible that it's still a gradable coin. Coins can be very, very worn. It's just when there's apparent damage, something damaged the coin, it makes coins worth a lot less money. On the same time, a coin being cleaned, if somebody took a cloth and polished that silver coin thinking that they were taking the tarnish off, just trying to make it look better, coins can get cleaned. I feel like even sometimes I've seen coins that, I think they were probably just in someone's pocket for a long time. And while it seems like that would just kind of smooth it, it kind of has the same effect as cleaning. It just keeps brushing against the cloth. and it just kind of like creates like little abrasions on the coin, which in the coin collecting, it's not a good thing. Other things are good to clean before you try to sell them. Coins, never clean them. Even professionals, I feel like, make mistakes and damage coins when cleaning. In my opinion, I know some dealers do clean. I don't touch any of my coins. That's one of the reasons I like these mint cellos as well, is I don't make any contact with them. I'm able to look at them, pick them up, take pictures of them, but I don't physically touch them. Just the oils on our fingers react with the metal of the coins. That's why you'll see a lot of people in the coin world wearing like cotton gloves. It just creates a barrier in between your finger and the coin, so that your oil, even if you're washing your hands are constantly making oil. It's like I've actually gone under the microscope and it's like looks, and it's like I can see here, you can see like little kind of glistening areas. That's basically like moisture and oil, just kind of the body doing its natural thing, keeping an equilibrium of the right pH balance, or the right balance of moisture and dryness. And so those very same things that kind of glisten under the light here, that's what touches the coin and damages it. So we've got maybe about 15 more of these, and then we can zoom in and take a closer look. And the double dies for this year, I believe they're all on the obverse, like I was saying. Just it makes the lettering. I'm sorry, I forgot to see which kind of double die it was, but it makes everything have kind of extra thickness to it. It's not a full doubling, it's not super extravagant. I feel like I could even miss it, possibly. I'm just hoping that maybe I haven't actually found one, and that when I actually find one, I'll say, oh, okay, yeah, that is significantly thicker. We've looked through a couple of these 57 rolls here on the show, and I feel like I've seen a couple that kind of exhibited what I was looking for, but when I looked at them, I didn't really feel like, oh yeah, that's one, definitely 100%, where generally I feel like that does happen. Just kind of looking over the top here, it almost looks like it has a flat side, like it's like the most minor clipping, maybe it just got dented. I also see like a black line, the mint cello up above the coin, there's like a little line with like darkness, like there was some moisture in there. A die rotation of 40 degrees or more. Okay, that's a good thing to look for. I probably should have been doing that, say, while I'm looking at the fronts and the backs here, because that would be much easier. I will know that for the next roll here, but we can go ahead and do that as we look through these ones. Thanks, Spike Ted Die Crack. That's why I like doing these shows here too, because I can go out and look for different things about the coins, but everybody else knows something different, and when we're all here together looking at the coins, I feel like I learn more, and there's more things to look for. And so a little bit of rotation is not really worth any money. It's just when there is a significant amount of rotation. I guess it would be kind of cool to have one that was, it was more like a metal style, like if it was like a full 180 and you went to flip it and the top was on the top. Some of these ones are pretty flashy. Get mesmerized sometimes. And I'm trying to think of anything else, Marcos. I mean, there are different airs and different varieties. I'm not as with it with airs and varieties with Morgans. There probably is a resource that lists all of the different varieties for Morgans. I don't know what they are. Um, I wish I could give you, you can type in the date and then also type in the word like air on eBay or variety. Hey, oops, sorry, X. Welcome to the channel. Um, where did I buy these? I bought these on eBay on an auction. There were about 7 or 8 rolls. Normally, I see 1 or 2 rolls like this on eBay in a year. And there was like 6 or 8 of them. I can't remember how many they were. There was like one 1956 and like 7 57s. I won them all. It was the beginning of the pandemic. People were freaking out. They flooded the market with all this stuff, and I bought up every one of them. I was going to sell them off, just make videos of them, and then sell them back on eBay. I'm probably going to be getting these all graded because they're the nicest ones I've ever gotten. That sounds pretty awesome to, is that called I think that's called a mule, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I would say 2 things, that would be a reverse die on both sides. It very well could be possible. I know that people do things as for fun. They'll cut a quarter or a penny in half, and then they'll connect the two. If it's real, it would be worth a considerable amount of money, I think. I would definitely, if it's real, I would have it checked out. First thing I'd do is like look at the, seam, see if there's any indication that the coin's been cut in half. It almost seems like it could be something that like from a magic kit or something like that. I think that when I went to Disneyland, there was like a magic shop, and they had double-sided coins. It's great for winning bets if you have a coin and you can call the right side every single time. And I don't think I've seen any more mint cello rolls of wheat cents on eBay here for a little while. I've seen some rolls. I think even last week there were some just rolls where people had taken a bunch of proof coins. And I feel like those, you could find some really nice coins in them. The ones that I looked at in the past, they would have lots of fingerprints, lots of corrosion, just where coins wore up against each other. This one's escaping. This mint cello is kind of damaged here. Maybe we can use this one. Yeah, this one's all the way open, I think. It's stuck here. I want to see if we can just see what the surface. Oh no, it's not. It's still. I was just gonna poke it out, but it's still, the mint cello is still there. It's like you can almost squeeze a coin out. I was gonna show you guys what the surface looked like, but you can see how just maybe this one had it happen anyway, but just from this being clipped here, while these aren't airtight. So this is one of the reasons here that I don't buy just rolls, ones that have been open and loose, is that once the coin is really exposed to the environment, there are so many things that can affect the coin. And these aren't airtight. I'm not saying that like they're any better protected, but it's just this thin layer of, it just protects it from my finger. It protects it from, it just protects it more. There's people that definitely would argue that there's better places, better ways to store them and to take them out. But in my opinion, that takes, taking it out, possibly handling them, and just, to me, it seems like there's more things that could happen to the coin. So when I buy these, I obviously end up getting coins like this. When I buy a roll, I never expect them all to be beautiful. Sometimes I'm not even expecting any of them to be beautiful. I'm just looking for that one beautiful coin that's hiding. Almost looks like that is floating. I feel like it moves around. And it's got a shadow right there above the 9. Yep, it's bouncing. That's on the cello. And some of these dots that we've seen on them, they could be on the cello too. Most of them looked like they were on the coins. But yeah, I did see quite a few rolls up last week. And I was hesitant to buy them for one reason. The person selling them, I buy high grade proof cents off of them graded by PCGS. And so in my mind, the fact that they have hundreds and hundreds of these high grade ones that I buy, I had to imagine that it was their cull roll. Because if they're able to sell all these other ones graded for good money, why would they be selling a whole roll of them for less? Like way, way less. And so when I'm buying stuff like this, and it's like I'm still kind of testing out dealers. I've been pretty much buying off of everybody and keeping lists of just what the quality was like, what I got, how much it cost, how much stuff was damaged, you know, if there were tone coins, if a bunch of environmental damage. I've been trying to kind of, you know, just check and see what everybody's like, because I haven't been doing this forever. I've been, you know, roll searching and coin collecting forever, but I haven't been on the hunt for high grade coins that I can get graded. And so you can definitely find rolls of proof ones cheaper. The other ways that you guys can get these are if you buy proof sets. A proof set for 1957, in my opinion, usually goes for about $28 to $33. And if you got, you know, so it's like basically you're going to get a $50, a quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny. And so pretty much half the money you'll get back in silver cost right now. However, if you get a nice $50, you know, you can get the $50 graded, and that can pay for the set itself. There's definitely lots of interesting ways to make money with the proof sets. So it's like in my head where these came from, if I was to guess, I'm guessing that somebody bought a bunch of proof sets and got the $50 and quarters graded, and then they sold off the dimes, nickels, and pennies. For all I know, these were the duds. Maybe they were a collector. That's one of the things I find, like I mainly buy small cents. However, if you guys have been checking out my videos lately of the PCGS coin graded videos that I do, I've been buying a lot of nickels, dimes, quarters, $50, and dollars, and even some commemoratives. My whole world just opened. I was all pennies up until a couple months ago, and all of a sudden there's a beautiful world of coins. So that was the last one here, so we can zoom in. I'll get some lights going here, and most of these look like they should cooperate with us pretty well. You guys saw that there was some heavily damaged ones there, so they'll be a little bit harder to see. But as we get closer, these lines get bigger. Let me bring this down a little bit so I'm not reaching up as far. See if I can get zoomed in there. I do not have any double die 1957s for sale. I do not believe I own any, but I haven't gotten through searching all these, and I'm still even learning how to find the double dies for this year. See if I can focus this a little bit better. And I'm not sure, it might actually be better. Do you see how like liney these are? And I can get them on certain angles here. But let me just go back one focal length, because I think we will actually be able to see. I guess it's tricky because the light plays. I think that this will probably be better. Except for then it's like, I'm like, what's going on here? I don't have any double dies of this year, to my knowledge. It's like the mint cello makes it look like there's like little bars on the R that are not there. Like, I don't know if you see in the middle of the R there, it makes it look like there's little steps, and then on the feet. I don't think they will all be this bad though. And I do have, I'm trying to think of what I have for double dies. I've just been getting into varieties. Like, the more I've been searching coins, the more I've been interested in them. I'm trying to remember actually what double dies I have. I have a double die, I believe it's an 1857 Flying Eagle cent. I believe it's an extra fine 40. Really beautiful. It's like the one with the doubled eye, but the entire coin appears to be tripled. It's an interesting looking line on the inside of the 9. I'm assuming that it is some sort. I hadn't been looking inside the eyes of these proof ones, because when I looked at coppercoins.com, I didn't see any reports of a double-dyed 1957 eyelid. And it's not to say that there aren't, but I figured if there was, Chuck would have already found it, because he seems to find every single doubled eyelid. I haven't done any episodes of The Coin Vault Has Opened with my older stuff, and in a couple weeks here since we tackled this proof project here. But I will be looking for more eyelids. I just didn't think that any existed for the 1957s. And have you found any doubled eyelids in the for the proof 57? Because if you know that there are, I'm happy to look. I was just under the impression that there weren't any, and so I was trying to look for things that people had successfully found. We can definitely take a look. They're also super, super shiny in those eye sockets. We definitely had some good luck with the other ones. Yeah, I definitely was searching all the business strikes and the ones from the 60s for the eyelids. And I believe I have some 56s coming up. And if I see that people have found them for the 56s, I will definitely check out the 57s for it, or the 56s for it. And I don't know if I have my camera not set up right here. I feel like the mint cellos are, those little lines and stuff, they reflect. It seems to not be treating me super well on that part of the eye. I find it very hard to focus. Speaking of, I still haven't gotten a new microscope. I figure I can get a better microscope for you guys and we can do things a lot easier. You always check. I suppose if somebody did find one, that would probably, and no one else had found one, the first one would probably be worth quite a bit of money. I mean, I find it interesting how there will be ones for one date, and then there won't be ones for another date. It's like you would think if it's common enough to happen to a bunch of them, that it would happen all the time. The double dies, there's a lot of different things. One website I've been recommending to people is coppercoins.com. On the left-hand column of their front page, there is something called die variety search. And there you can pretty much enter in the date and the mint of any Lincoln cent. And then you can see all the different errors that have been found. There's also a website called varietyvista.com. And I find it a little bit harder to navigate, but at the same time, they've done a really good job there as well. My preference is Copper Coins, but no website of errors. They're all set up differently, and not every one has a complete collection of all the different errors. Hey, metal detecting with Austin Simpson, welcome. I've been pretty good here. There was some serious smoke here for felt like weeks. No fire where I was, just to the north, south, and east, and I had the coast here to the west. But pretty much it was just like couldn't see the sun here for a while, and when I could, it was like bright red. It seems like the smoke has been way better. I don't know if the fires are doing better, but it seems like I'm doing a lot better. It was a little hard to breathe here. Thanks for asking. How have you been? How are you doing? Had any luck with the metal detector? Make any cool new videos I should check out? It's actually been I've been doing a little bit less streaming, and so I've actually been able to check out more people's videos that they've been making. That's been kind of fun. It was just to the point where it was a little bit harder to talk. My throat just constantly felt. Does this one look bigger? Or is it just the way the light's hitting it? No, I feel like the tail. Let me look at the mint. Nice, that is fun to find the oldest coin you've ever found. I just want to look at this one now. Does that 9 look thicker to anyone else? I know it's hard going back and forth. Maybe we'll look at a little bit more of it. I can't remember what the oldest coin. I found like a Danish skilling on the ground when I was a teenager, like in front of a payphone of all places. And it was, I think, from like the early 1700s. I think that's the oldest coin I've ever found on the ground. I can't really tell, but like for some reason the 9 on this, like especially if you look at the bottom of the 9, it just looks way thicker. It's like I wish that from the pictures that I saw of these double dies, there's no notching, there's nothing for me to like, I guess like maybe there would be. We'll look at the other one again. It's like, see how this one seems to be more kind of pointed out? And then this one, it just looks like, to me, like I would say it looks thicker. Um, but I mean, what did you find metal detecting with Austin Simpson? I'm curious, or should I watch the video? Maybe I shouldn't ask for you to spoil the surprise. But I guess what one would do is go and check out die markers, because I guess that would be what the die markers are for. I'm going to ask Chuck again too. I asked him live on the stream if I could show his website on my channel, and he said yes, but I just want to make sure that he knew that I meant that I would be streaming his website, because I want to be able to show other people the Copper Coins or coppercoins.com website. Because I feel like it would be really handy to be able to take you guys all. I know you guys can go there and search it yourselves, but I feel like it would make it really easy to show people exactly what I'm talking about. Nice. I've been looking at the 1972s. I've been wanting to buy one. I saw one on eBay a couple times for around $400 or $500. Did you picked it up at auction this week? I kept seeing one kind of go around. I feel like it got a little bit cheaper the last couple weeks, and I almost went. No, I didn't have the money to, but when I see one for the right price, I'm definitely going to pick one up. Just because they look so cool. They really, really do. The 1972 double die, it definitely is one of those ones that you just look at and it looks really, really cool. Not all double dies are the same. Yeah, it's like looking at this one after looking at that other one. I did put the other one to the side. But yeah, I better get my metal detector out. All the vegetation that I cleared this last winter and fall, it's a full year's gone by. Everything's starting to grow again. I need to get my metal detector out. I don't know, it's like the 1955 double die. Over the last couple of years, I feel like the price has come down on them significantly. I'm almost tempted to pick one up. You know, it's one of those ones that I saw my entire life that I was fascinated with, but never ever thought that I'd be able to own one. But it seems like the more and more coins that I'm buying, they seem like they're not that far off in price from some of the coins that I buy. And so I'm like, why not own a 1955 S double die or a 1955 double die? It seems like it would be a good investment. Thank you. Yeah, my Twitter account, if you don't already have it, it's in the description below the video here. Which I was actually thinking about taking them all out. I was just having a conversation in my head with myself about whether I should just clean up my entire description part there, but it's like an interesting mark on the inside of the 9 there. But yeah, I've been having, like, I'm not locked out of my Twitter account, or my Instagram account, but my Instagram account has not let me post my videos lately, and I don't know if I did too many videos or what. Maybe they're just having trouble with their servers for the last week. So I tried everything that I could find on the internet. Well, I feel like I've seen some 1955s go for under $1,000 within the last year. I feel like I saw like a pretty, I think it was a non-gradable one. I think it went for under $500 or right around 500. I might be wrong. But I was definitely seeing ones, and I was like, wow, that's not quite as unattainable as I thought. I feel like for a while they were all like around 5,000 or something like that, and I was just like, yeah, that's a coin I look at. That's a coin I go on the internet and I look at a picture of it. It's not a coin I'll ever own. Um, but I feel like I've seen prices on a lot of the key dates drop, but then I've seen prices on a bunch of varieties and stuff. It feels like the super modern high end stuff I feel like I've seen just kind of drop a little bit with the hype. Um, I feel like the people who hype things up, they move on from one coin to the next. They buy up one area, hype it up, market it, then they sell off their interests in it while transferring all their interests into something, the next thing to hype up. Like the baseball card market right now, it seems like there's like a bunch of hypers and marketers, and maybe it's a real thing. Maybe I'm missing the bandwagon. Um, but I feel like all these modern cards selling for thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands in some cases. I feel like it's gonna burn. It's gonna pop. Um, so I don't know. It's interesting, but if people want to spend $400,000 on a card that's 6 months old, maybe they will make some money off of it. Maybe they will not. I don't know. I'm not going near it. I feel like I've enjoyed coins and they've been consistent. Welcome back, Logan's Coins. I missed you. I was thinking about you today. I was like, I haven't seen Logan in a while. Um, Almost looks like I'm missing a pixel on my screen here. Or it's in the video card maybe. I'm just seeing a line. Hopefully that doesn't transfer over to your guys' view. I've never seen that before. But how are you doing, Logan's Coins? Did your summer house, did it make it through the fire? Is it still in danger? I'm hoping that it did not. I'm hoping the fire went straight around it, and you'll have no neighbors when you go to visit, and you'll have a beautiful view and a nice private place to have vacation. Or just everything's fine there and the fire didn't touch it. School. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, school's pretty crazy right now for everybody. You don't have to answer, but are you in school at the moment? Are you like doing the whole Zoom thing? It definitely, everyone that I know that's in school right now, it's just like crazy, like nobody knows what they're doing. You hit 250 subs. Good job. Hello, Blue Sandy. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you too. How have you been, Blue Sandy? You're doing the Zoom? It's funny, like Zoom was like basically malware before the pandemic started. It was like just full of security flaws. Nobody used it. And for some reason, Zoom got pushed and promoted and became, it seems like everyone's on Zoom. It's really incredible. Maybe the bigger companies wanted a bunch of money and Zoom was like, hey, we'll do it for free. You're better now? What was going on? You're very welcome, Marcos. I wish you good luck. Hopefully, I hope that you enjoy the coins that your grandfather left you. I believe you said your grandfather. But I hope that you find something nice in there. And I hope the information helped you. So what's going on, Blue Sandy? You been okay? How's things been on the East Coast for you? No mod still, Logan. I mean, I have my mod here standing by, but it never seems like anybody causes any trouble, so my mod never has to do anything. I'm not asking for trouble either. But, hey, Blue Sandy as well, I still have your scavenger hunt wins. And so I don't know if you're still looking, if you're taking a break, but I'm happy to send those to you at any time that you're wanting me to send them out. I apologize, I was meaning to touch base with you, but I haven't been streaming as much, so I didn't get a chance. Yikes. I wish your mother quick recovery, and I hope she comes home. I hope she's home from the hospital. Um, I'm sorry to hear that, Blue Sandy. I used to work in a hospital. That was a lifetime ago. But I used to help people with like that had hip surgery and knee surgery. I'm sorry to hear that your mom fell. Tell me that she is out of the hospital. I hope so anyway. I feel like hospitals are, not the best places to be right now. Are you able to help take care of her? Does she live nearby you? Trying to see the details on this one. I feel like if you look at like kind of the top of the T and the R, there's almost looking like there's wanting to be something there, and the bottom of the U, but I don't think there's anything on this one. Just tell me, tell me your mom is not in a nursing home in Florence, next to Northampton High School. Tell me she's not there, and I will feel better. Um, I'm not saying anything more until you tell me the answer. I don't actually know what the policies are, Logan. I would say you nailed it pretty much. I would say you are right in the ballpark. For what I'm doing right now, that is like a meadow, or no, Sun Bridge, Sun Valley. I don't know what it would be called these days. Um, was that a yes to the Florence near the high school? I don't know. See, it's like I don't even know what hospital policy is. Like I feel like here, like you can't even go and visit your loved ones in the hospitals. Oh gosh, I hope so. When I worked there, because that's the hospital that I worked at, or it was a nursing home, but I worked in the subacute rehabilitation floor. Um, when I worked there, the company had gone bankrupt because the CEO took all the hospital's money and gambled it away at Las Vegas. Now this one looks really thick on the bottom. Do you guys see that? This one looks really thick. Like, look at the bottom of that 9. Look at that whole bottom, like the whole leg of the 9. I think this might be a double die. Fascinating. And that 5 looks really thick too. Care one, it's called now. So yeah, the guy, he gambled away all the money, and so another company basically bought out the company because the company was going to go out of business, or the hospital was going to close down. So I'm going to put that one to the side because I think that was a double die. I think we finally know what we're looking for here. We'll go back to that one in just a second. We're just going to keep looking now that I feel pretty confident I know what we're looking for. But yeah, so the place got bought out by another company, but made a deal with the government that they could basically operate the place on a shoestring budget. And basically they didn't have to do any of the staffing requirements. The place was awful. I can't even, it's been so long I can't even tell you all the awful things about the place. But basically they didn't have to like do any of the government guidelines. They were exempt because the company basically was buying out the company to save it. And it would have been cheaper for the company to do it than the government to do it. And so the government basically agreed to let them operate. But the place was not a place you'd want to be. A split on the inside of the 9. Okay, I will go back and look at that in just a second. That's what I was thinking too, but there are two double dies on the front. But I worked at that one for like 6 months, and I watched so many people die that didn't need to die. Like you'd go and tell the nurse that so-and-so, you know, their eyes had glazed over, they weren't ambulatory anymore, they weren't talking coherent, and the nurses would basically have so much work to do. They were so understaffed that they would say, I'll check on them. You know, you go back and be like, so-and-so's like keeled over in the back of the chair. Oh, I'll check on them. And it's like, then they'd finally go in and the person would be dead. And it's like, you would have told them like 5 times. And so it's like, me personally, like I would never have a family member in a place like that unless I was able to like be there with them all the time. Good people working in them, but it was like, when I was trained with the Red Cross, I was trained for a 1-to-8 patient ratio. Then you get to the real world, you're working with a 1-to-16 ratio. And then basically somebody calls in sick, somebody doesn't show up to work, you're on a 1-to-32 ratio. I had 64 patients at one time. It's not physically possible to help and do all the things that are needed to be done. And it's like, I can only imagine. I'm sorry. You stayed there for 2.5 months, so I know how bad. You can see how just got just a bad PCA. Yeah, there were always supposed to be 2 nurses on each floor. That sounds about right. The first, or the top floor, I think it was the 3rd floor, that was the best floor to be on. The long term, the 2nd floor was, if you went to the 2nd floor, you never left. It was just like, it was that bad. Like people would come in for an operation or such, you know, they would have knee surgery and then they would fall. They would become what was called a fall risk. And basically they would, you know, not be allowed to ambulate, they wouldn't be allowed to walk around, exercise outside of their physical therapy. And then they never, you know, they'd be highly medicated, and they would never ever, their bodies couldn't recover because they weren't exercising, they weren't trying to use their bodies. And like the MRSA, like the place was just infected with all these different things. No, if she fell there, I'm sorry, I feel like I feel like I'm not helping. Sorry, I have beef with that place. Um, so it's like like I don't want to freak you out, and I don't. My best advice, if you love your mom, be there as much as you possibly can. Be her advocate. Make sure that she has a telephone or a computer, some sort of device. You know, you don't necessarily have to be there to be able to protect her, but make sure that she can contact you when she needs help, because whether the place is better than it is, I don't know. It sounds like you had been there, and so you probably know. Um, but it's basically in that kind of line of work, there is more work than can be done. I worked 16 hours straight. There are shifts there. My last day, I'll be honest, I got let go from there because I worked my 16-hour shift. I did it 7 days a week. I went home to sleep for my 8 hours. And when I came back for my next 16-hour shifts, they told me I was a no-show, no-call. They had scheduled me for 40 hours straight. And I didn't argue. I had had enough of the place, and I think must have had enough of me. So that was like the one and only time, I think. No, I think I've been let go from one other job too. But I closed the gas station 5 minutes early one day because there was something I very much wanted to do. So I thought I would just turn the lights off 5 minutes before so I wouldn't have a customer show up at the last minute. And district manager came by. Oops. So yeah, I guess the point of it is that they're so overstaffed. Like, I worked hard there. What I loved is I actually would make the time where I could talk to the people, I could listen to the people, I could help them. You know, I'd be introduced to a patient. I'd be told that they weren't cognitively there. They weren't there. You know, I'd sit down and talk to the person, have an half an hour long conversation with them, and it would just become absolutely clear nobody had stopped and listened. No one had tried to talk to them. Eventually, it just became convenient for them to just pretend they weren't there. Yeah, like when I worked there, my coworkers would be out getting drunk in their car with, making out with a boyfriend or girlfriend. I'd be picking up the slack for the rest of the workers. There were some good nurses there. There were some, I will say, there were some good nurses that tried. There were definitely some nurses that were, just trying to get to the point where they could retire. And hopefully they've all retired now. Hey, Jamie Kilman Sandberg, welcome. 1943 wheat penny is made out of steel. If it's got some rusty look to it, it's probably worth about 5 to 10 cents. If it is still a nice solid steel color without any white or rust corrosion on it, it probably is worth a little bit more. I should have some PCGS coin videos of some higher grade ones to show you like a higher grade example on my YouTube channel here. I think I've sold most of them on eBay. Good to meet you too, Jamie. Welcome to the channel. Hey, PK Carve, welcome back. Good to see you again. I'm glad to hear they do a lot of stuff with, honestly, I think it's been 17 years since I was there. You would think that management has probably turned over 10 times. I'd like to think that the world is a kinder, happier, safer place, that medical technologies has advanced. you're at a state hospital, PK Carve, and you're understaffed. That's pretty much how it was for me. It was to the point where I was like pretty dangerously understaffed. I only continued working at the place for the patients. That's the reason that I stayed. But Jamie, the 1943 steel cent, if it's rusty or got like white corrosion on it, it's probably worth about 5-10 cents. If it still has original luster on it, and it doesn't have any marks on it, like an MS66 one can be worth between like 35 and $50. If you got like a MS67, they go into the hundreds of dollars, but that's a coin pretty much without any marks on it. Really, really beautiful, stunning coin. But yeah, so without putting any fear into you, Blue Sandy, um, just have a way to communicate with her. I don't know what the coronavirus like world is like as far as hospitals. I've heard that people aren't able to visit people in hospitals, but just have somebody be her advocate, be available on the phone. I remember patients having to wait hours to get to go to the bathroom. And say, for example, if your mom had gotten up to go to the bathroom because she had been calling her call bell all day long and she needed to go and she slipped and fell, that's how most people would get injured. Like, I don't know what exactly happened to your mom there, but that was something that I would see common. Um, there was a lot of different stuff, a lot of different ways people got injured. There was people whose minds were beginning to disintegrate. There were people that would have pneumonia and would be on sleep aid drugs, and they would basically be in a psychosis, not know where they were, how they got there. Like, I've been kidnapped, help. When people think they're in danger, they can get dangerous sometimes. And they can get very frightened and very scared. Um, she has a ROM phone and her cell phone. Excellent. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I don't even think there was what is it, an ombudsman. I don't even think that they had one. I think that it was like a position that never got filled the entire time. It was like the liaison between like a patient and the state. Yeah. Yeah, I try to do my best to stay out of hospitals. If any loved ones I have ever get injured, I will do my best to take my training and take care of them outside of the hospital. There's some things you need to go to the hospital for, but I honestly feel that hospitals are more dangerous um, than they are good. It's like if you need emergency surgery, yeah, that's something I'm not going to do at home. But if somebody just needs like loving care, because that's one of the things that just really gets missed in today's world. This one almost looks a little bit thicker on the bottom too. Maybe I'll put this next to that other one and we can compare it. But it's like modern science does not take into consideration like human connection and kindness and just, even just like a kind touch, just holding someone's hand, or like just, you think about like a mother with a child with a fever, putting a cold washcloth on their child's head and just, kind of like running their hand over the top of their head and like saying, telling them it's going to be okay. Like the power of that, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's its own kind of medicine, but that's not provided in a hospital. Everything is about money and about the bottom line. We got some I think some like monkeys escaped the zoo. First it sounded like an owl outside earlier, then it sounded like a dog was barking at the owl, and then it sounded like monkeys were going crazy. So if you guys hear some crazy stuff in the background, yeah, it's that kind of night here. I hope that's monkeys. Sorry, I'm listening to this. Can any of you guys hear this? Alright, I'll get back to the coin. It's like every time I try to concentrate here, all of a sudden it starts getting loud. I'm gonna have to go check that out after the stream. It's not even a full moon out there. Yeah, this is that super, super damaged looking one here. And so I think we've only got about 5 or 10 left here, but we did have a couple kind of cool looking ones. One that definitely made me think that we might have found a double die. And so I think when we get to the end here in just a couple coins, we will go, I'll go and check out coppercoins.com and see if I can match up any of the die markers on it. Because I think that if it is, I think that they're worth, I think when I was there, I think they're worth like $75 to $100 in an okay grade. I might be off there, but if I double check, it's definitely not going to hurt. It says Bach on it. Interesting. I don't think I know of a coin that says Bach on the back of it. Definitely not an American one that I know of. If it just says BAC on it, I might try just you know, going to the world coin on eBay and typing like coin BAC, because it might be a specific kind. I honestly don't know, Jamie. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Blue Sandy. There has been, you know, there's fires to the north, south, and east of here. And so if they're, you know, that's displacing a lot of wildlife. That's better. Camera likes my chair better than me. If I give it my chair, it focuses and pays attention. Me, it gets all blurry. But yeah, I think that we are getting a much higher concentrate of animals. And I'm guessing a zoo must have burned down or something, because I have never heard things that sound like monkeys out there before. It sounded like the other night, it sounded like a bunch of parrots in like the trees at night. It sounded really, really crazy. I thought it was like an owl or something at first, but then like they were all doing this like other weird sound. That's a good idea, Blue Sandy. Couldn't remember what the name of that app was, but the CoinScope app that Blue Sandy is talking about, Jamie, if you download it on your phone, you can take a picture, I believe, or hold it over the coin, and it will tell you exactly what the coin is. It's like the coolest thing in the world. I don't know why I do not have it. But I've definitely seen, and I don't know if there's like, if it's like a free version and a pay version. But it looked It definitely looked cool. I've seen other people do it. Speaking of, someone sent me something that I had no idea what it was, and I was meaning to look at it under the loop here. So maybe I'll pull that out because I think it's right in front of me still. Let's see what this thing is. Here, they'll get a, we'll give them a plug. Wow, actually, has that changed color since I got it? So I got like a random, I'll zoom back out in a sec, or back in a second. I bought something off eBay and then it came, it looks like they gave me, that wasn't what I was interested in. I was interested in, no idea what this is. And I don't know if there will be any details of any sort. It looks like it's copper or bronze. I'm feeling like, you know, it's like you can see some little lines here. But I'm guessing it's like one of those like old Roman coins or something. I don't think I've ever owned one. I should add the name to the list down below. Yeah, so this just came on an auction. So if you guys buy something from Hudson Valley Numismatics, making sense of your treasure, it looks like they give little gifts, which I always find it fun on eBay when you buy something to get a gift. When I used to buy stuff, I got it all the time. And then it seemed like everyone stopped giving out free stuff on eBay, and then all of a sudden I start getting free stuff again this year. It was like it went out of style for a year and then it came back. But I'll put that back. I have no idea. So let's see, there was, oh, did I put, no, just two up there. Alright, so I think that this is the one. I just want to see what these look like. Like a coin scope down there. I was actually thinking about taking all of that stuff away and just neatening up everything. But I do like having people be able to check out the Facebook and Instagram and Twitter because they can send photos and I can see stuff. Maybe I will do that again. Or, yeah, it's a good resource. One of the problems is that it only gives you, like, I can only add like one or two more sentences to that entire area below, which I found kind of surprising. They really don't let you put, they don't let you go on and on forever anyway. So I don't think that this is the one. I think it was the other one. Yeah, like when I look at this tip here, but I think they were saying that there should be a split in the 9. Like the 9 definitely looks way thicker on the bottom, but I don't really see a split. But I definitely feel like it gets like from like the neck of the 9 to up here. Like if you look at like say like the midsection here, it just seems like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes down the 9. And then it's like, I felt like this one looked a little bit thicker, but not to the extreme. And so if we go to the middle of the 9, yeah, I'd say this one gets a little bit thicker. And then I pulled out 2 others from the beginning, but I feel like, oh, that one does look a little bit fatter too. Huh. Like the longer I look under the loop here, this one looks, I feel like it's thicker than most. This one almost looks like it has that little split, like if I'm remembering what the split looks like, but if you look down the 9, how there's that line. But I think that it's supposed to be in kind of a third of the way into the 9. But here, if you guys can bear with me for 1 second, I'm just gonna refresh my memory on coppercoins.com. On the left-hand column, there's a die variety search, and if you guys type in 1957 from and 1957 until and Philadelphia, it brings up 8 different varieties for the year. The 4th and 5th one are both the proof double dies. And so it looks like the 00 or the 1DO005 has a split in the center of the 9 at the bottom. So I do not believe I don't see a split in the bottom of either of these. However, I don't see a split in the 004. And so if we can look for some die markers in the U and the S of trust, there looks like there is some extra thickness, I believe, in the bottom of the O. It doesn't quite say where I'm supposed to be looking here. It looks like there's a die marker to the very left of the 1. Let's look for that first. I'm going to switch back to you guys, because I believe that die marker should show up. Let me just look at that die marker again. So it basically, there's like should be like a diagonal line going not like that, but kind of like from like a 7 o'clock towards the tip of the 1. If the 1 is noon, it should go from about 7 o'clock straight up. So I don't really see on that. There kind of is. See if you guys can see that diagonal line that's kind of running against, it's thinner than it's going the opposite direction as the mint cello lines, but that's kind of what we're looking for. I'll have to flip back, but we'll just see if either of these have anything like that. Oh, that one's not quite right either. This is the thing that I find hard about. It's like you find ones that you think could possibly be the different dies, and then it's like you see stuff that are in common with the ones that you're looking for, and then you can't quite nail down which one it is. But I've not seen any of the die markers. I can look back again. Like we can look in the U and the trust here, the U and the S. I need to focus a little bit more. I'm thinking that that these ones might not be what we're looking for. That one definitely looked really strong. But then when I'm looking for any of the other markers here, I'm not seeing them. And so I don't know if it is a different one or how to explain it. But let's take a look here at them one more time here at the tip. See if we can see that line going through that we couldn't see before. Sometimes the light doesn't allow us to. Try flipping it upside down. I mean, I definitely don't see a line going down the middle of that one. That one, it definitely looks really, really big on the end. No line going down the middle. I think I will have to take some time checking on these ones, trying to see if I can find any other ones. Because these ones, they look wider than all the other ones in the roll. Maybe there's some sort of machine damage going on. But this one in particular, it's like way, way, way bigger on the tip. Like I would say it's like a third bigger thickness. Can I do another template and connect them? Good question. I might be able to set something up, or I might be able to set up like a link to different resources, or make a video with all the resources. That's not a bad idea, Blue Sandy. But I think I'm going to call it a night here. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, and I'm glad she's got you taking care of her. I'll still be here when you get back, so definitely make her a priority, Blue Sandy. And thank you for taking care of her. Everybody needs someone to take care of them. But thanks for being here. It was nice to see you again. I had been wondering how you were doing. Thanks, Logan's Coins, for being here tonight. Good to see you again. Thank you, Silver Scorpion, for greeting me before the show started. Hope to see you again. Thank you, Marcos Rodas, for being here tonight. I hope to see you on here again, and I hope that you find some cool coins in the Morgans that your grandfather left for you. Alright, I will check my Twitter. Thanks, OopsSorryX. And I wish you a good night, OopsSorryX. Thank you for stopping by, and I will definitely check out those photos. I'm glad she's doing good, Blue Sandy. I'm glad she's got you to take care of her. It was very nice seeing you too. I might have another bonus stream here this week. I might be getting back to normal here now that the smoke has let up here. It was just kind of hard to breathe, let alone do anything here. Thanks, Spike Ted Diecrack, for being here tonight. Thanks for asking me to check out the eye. I'm sorry, I feel like I spaced on a couple of them there. But thanks for turning me on to checking out Lincoln's eyes, because I definitely found a lot of double dyes doing that. I really appreciate your help. Thanks for metal detecting with Austin Simpson for stopping by. I'll come check out your video. I don't think you told me what that coin was, but I want to know what the oldest coin you've ever found is now. Thank you, Jamie Kielman Sandberg, for stopping by. I don't know what the Bach coin is, the BAC coin, but I would definitely take Blue Sandy's advice and try the Coinoscope. It's a really cool app. I do remember Googling it, and like I definitely check it out. Like, and if entering in like a coin with BAC on it doesn't bring anything up on Google, eBay or the Coinoscope, that'd be. I don't know. I'm definitely still learning. Thank you, PK Carve, for stopping by tonight. Good to see you. I wish you a good night. And thank you, Super Silverman, for stopping by. Always good to see you. I wish you guys all good nights. The next scheduled stream is on Wednesday at 9 p.m. this week, and of course I'll have one on Saturday. I may be doing some more bonus streams. I definitely have more than enough coins to keep this going forever. So thank you everyone. Wish you guys awesome nights. See you all in the future.